This gun is strictly obtained from the wish machine. You can press blueprint shop, click on the pistol blueprint and buy yourself a R500 MEMENTO. And it costs 8,000 star crumbs to buy this weapon. You can also make a wish, click on Echoes from the Rift, and in here you have a chance 5% to get that weapon blueprint. Now of course it's 5% on your first roll or like 10th roll, but when you're rolling in Echoes from the Rift, you actually have to fully empty out all of the 40 items that you roll, and once you do empty it out, you have a chance to get that blueprint on the very last roll. Although I don't recommend rolling in Echoes from the Rift because you can get random ass blueprints which you might not want. So it's best to just click blueprint shop and buy yourself that gun. So let's go to blueprints and let's click on the pistol. Let's right click on the memento, details, keyword. We're gonna go through what is fast gunner, how it works, and what it is. Continuous buff, it is. It's while skill is in effect, each stack grants fire rate plus 1% and attack plus 1% for 2 seconds. Effect can stack up to 5 times max. So if you don't have any mods, if you don't have any armor that you're not wearing, your maximum effect will stack to 5 times. This is very easy to understand. As you trigger, you will just keep stacking that effect. As you can see, boom, boom, you hear that weird sound? That's basically just stacking it. So as you can see, instead of 5 stacks, we're stacking it to 10 stacks, to 20 stacks, and it just keeps stacking over and over. Now we have 18 stacks. And the reason it's stacking so much, because we're wearing special armor for it, which is the Osis mask. We're gonna go through that later. Let's go to the blueprints again and go on the actual gun. So hits grant a 36% chance to trigger fast gunner. The chance doubles with a weak spot hit. So if you shoot in the enemy's body and not head, the trigger chance is going to be very low. And of course, if you shoot in the head, it's going to be higher, doubling. When fast gunner is triggered, 1 bullet will be reloaded to your magazine. When you shoot and you trigger fast gunner, boom, we get 1 bullet back for us, for free. We shoot again, we trigger fast gunner, we get 1 bullet back. You can see we didn't reload any bullets because we didn't trigger a single time there. Each shot has a 40% chance to consume 1 more bullet. When extra bullets are consumed, you will get attack plus 80%. So you have a chance to consume 2 bullets. So right there we did double the damage, and you saw we did 10k in the head. So sometimes it will use 1 bullet, sometimes it will use 2 bullets, and of course if you use 2 bullets and you trigger fast gunner, you'll get that 1 extra bullet back, although it's still gonna use 1 bullet. So that's how this gun works. This gun is heavily reliant on weak spot damage. Look at this, weak spot damage 260.6%. The one biggest downside this gun has is that it doesn't really work if you hit the body shots. Its damage is just, you know, not that great. You cannot really do anything about it. So it's only a weak spot gun. So now let's go to the mods that we are using for this gun. For the gun itself, we are using Shooting Blitz Precision, Fast Gunner Duration plus 4 seconds, and when Fast Gunner is active, weapon damage plus 15%. The substats are weak spot damage, damage against elite enemies, magazine capacity. When you're going to use this gun, you're going to need a lot of weak spot damage and magazine capacity to compensate for the clip size, because you can see my gun has 12 right now, and the reason it has 12 is because this character has a renegade armor part, which gives you more magazine size. And you kind of want that fast gunner duration plus 4 seconds, because when you're shooting like so, you're gonna get your stacks up. You can see we have 8 stacks right now, and that 4 seconds is gonna save us. I reloaded the gun and I can still keep shooting now to keep my stacks going. And if you did, you know, reload without this mod, your stacks would be gone. So you wouldn't have them anymore. So this Shooting Blitz is a must for this weapon. For the helmet, we have a precise strike. Hitting weak spot grants weak spot damage, 12% for 3 seconds. Effect can stack 3 times. For the mask, we're using Blitzkrieg. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but fast gunner stacks plus 5 and additional fire rate plus 1% for each stack. So instead of 1 fire rate, when you trigger fast gunner stacks, you're going to be getting 2 fire rate instead. And you'll be able to get additional 5 stacks. So we can get up to 20 fast gunner stacks with this mod and with this armor, but I'll go with armor a little bit later. So for the gloves, we're using weak spot damage plus 25%, weak spot damage 9%, and magazine capacity. For the shoes, we're using covered advance, and as you can see, this mod is not that great, although it does have a 12% magazine capacity, which is nice, but substat is not great. We need to have precision instead of talents. In the description, I will provide a full list of mod sheets and substats that's possible to roll on mods. It also has a full mod list, so if you are looking for that, check out the description or pinned comments for it. For the pants, we are using Reload Rampage. After killing an enemy, refill 2 bullets from reserves, no more than 50% of the magazine capacity, weapon damage, and status damage plus 10% until next reload. I think this mod is glitched, but if you're doing PVE, once you kill an enemy, you're gonna, reload your bullets. You could use this, or you can use 3 strikes, which also needs to have weak spot damage and magazine capacity. With this 3 strikes mod, you basically get first 3 bullets, you will have weak spot damage plus 50%. After you shoot 3 bullets, then the rest of your damage is going to be gone. So you will have to reload again and then shoot 3 bullets again. Again, for the substats, you need weapon damage, weak spot damage, or weak spot damage and magazine capacity. For the chest top piece, you want to go with weak spot damage boost and get a weak spot damage as a substat and as well as magazine capacity as a substat as well. And that's it for the mods. Now let's go for the armor to use for this gun. The first one being Lone Wolf Hat for that plus 10% magazine capacity. You could use this. It's probably going to give you only 1 bullet for that. If you don't want to use 1 Lone Wolf part, then you can scrap 1 Lone Wolf Hat and just get yourself instead 2 agent parts. And 2 agent parts is going to give you first head damage reduction, and the second one is going to be plus 10% weak spot damage. Although since we're using this pistol and it heavily needs ammo, you probably Lone Wolf would be the best. Then we just have 4 parts of Renegade armor. Renegade costs 3000 from the Wish Machine, as well as Lone Wolf also costs 3000 Starcrum for 1 part, so that's how you can get them. The first Renegade part gives us reload speed, second gives us weak spot damage, third one will give us weak spot damage by 4% up to 10 stacks. So if you keep shooting the same enemy up till 10 times you hit it, our weak spot damage is gonna stack right here. Archers focus, and you'll just keep increasing your weak spot damage. If you swap targets though, it's gonna get halved like that. Then if you swap the target again, it's gonna halved again, get halved again, get halved again. So that's how the third part works. And the fourth part, when reloading, for every 1 of weak spot hit from the previous magazine, load an extra 0.6% bullets up to 30%. Basically, this is better for LMG. If you hit the weak spot with the LMG, let's say you're using Predator, then it would be more beneficial for that gun. However, we're using a pistol. It doesn't have a big mag size, and you can see we have only 10 bullets left. And if I hit all my bullets in the head right now, like that, then our next magazine will have 2 bullets extra. Now for the key armor, the Osa's mask is Fast Gunner max stacks plus 10, and you will get attack plus 1 per stack. So instead of getting, as we saw earlier, Fast Gunner gives us plus 1 fire rate and plus 1 attack, instead we will get 2% because this mod that we're using on the mask gives us plus 1 fire rate, and then the mask gives us plus 1% attack. So per stack, we will always get 2% fire rate and 2% attack. As well as the Fast Gunner max stacks is increased by 10. So now if we didn't wear this mod, we would have 15 stacks. We can reach up to 15 stacks with Fast Gunner. And since we have this mod, we can reach up to 20 stacks when we shoot with this gun. To be honest, there's not much armor you can use for this gun. So probably the best would be 4 parts of Renegade. If you don't like Lone Wolf, then go with 2 agent parts and 3 Renegade. Now, the Bastille set 3 parts could work, but I have never tested this before, so I'm not sure how this armor works. And it says that you lose sprinting or something on 3 parts you wear. So I don't know, I can't really recommend this armor because I never tried it. But if you ever wanted to try it, feel free to, because this could work. It gives you 40% weapon damage, as well as the first part, if you wear it, it also gives you 10%. This gun, by the way, is completely PVE. You will never see anyone use this gun in PvP unless they're aimbotting and they're hitting only headshots, then sure, you'll find that guy. And probably if you reported him, he's gonna get banned the next second. So yeah, this gun's special damage bonus is penetration, deals more damage against Rosetta. And this gun is in general just good for things that have a exposed weak spot damage, Like if you're killing a big boss and its weak spot is very big, then that enemy is going to be easy to kill. But if it doesn't have a weak spot damage, it's only like, let's say you're killing Ravenous Hunter and you have to shoot his minigun out. It's going to take you so long. It's probably like 40-50 bullets to kill that minigun. Enemies that don't have a easy to hit weak spot, you will have a problem with this gun. Lastly, the Cradle, important buffs you need to use. handgun enhancement, damage 20%. When killing an enemy, you'll get 1 bullet back. Use Master Tactician as well as Deviation Master. So you throw a dagger or a tactical item for more damage. You summon your Deviant for more damage. Use the tactical combo, weapon damage 25% for 4 seconds after switching weapons or reloading. Sprint for more movement speed. And you will need Steady Hand while in Fortress Warfare or Fast Gunner status, weak spot damage plus 40%. Of course, if you also mark the enemy with a second weapon, let's say you have like a wildfire here or like a crossbow. If you mark the enemy with the bullseye, then in total, you will have 60% weak spot damage instead of 40%. So this is great. Then the last one is after defeating a unit you marked, weapon damage 25% and weak spot damage 35% lasting for 15 seconds. This is again not for fast gunner but more for bullseye. So if you use a weapon, which in this case is Wildfire or Doombringer or the Bingo that marks enemies, or the crossbow, then once you mark them and if you kill it with your weapon, then you will get this damage bonus for your Cradle. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this fast gunner build. Strictly PvE weapon. I don't recommend this for PvP at all. I don't really recommend this gun for PvE either because it's very weak if you don't hit the weak spot and your DPS suffers a lot. But if you want to try something new, feel free to. In the next video, I might cover the Predator build. It's also not that great as many other builds, but we will get to it eventually. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any questions, make sure to join my Discord and ask there. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace out.